Well, my name is Zane, and I'm gonna actually I'll turn on my video so you can see my face.
So is Dr.
And
Liddy there?
yeah, I think Dr. Liddy is here. Hey, Dr. Liddy. And I'm excited, grateful. Thank you so much for everybody taking the time to jump on today. If I can, what I'll do is I'll talk for a minute maybe, and then I'll have Dr. Liddy talk for a little bit too, if that's okay. I'll tell you a little bit about our company. Sukavu is the name of our company. We started our company in manufacturing about 9 years ago. And our goal was to figure out how we could make the best products available and then make them available to people. And we started working with doctors. We didn't have a brand or have Sukavu until 2018, 2019. And then with COVID and a few things, it's been a little bit difficult, but for the most part, we've been very, very happy and successful with the products that we've created. And I wanted to share a little bit about that with you. I'm going to be very basic today, but the most important, first most important thing is just to understand that every human body has a system called the endocannabinoid system, and that the cannabinoids that are found in plants, those cannabinoids affect our endocannabinoid system. And that whole system, its job is to create balance or homeostasis in the rest of our systems. And so if we can create balance in your life, we can create balance in your body, you're going to feel good and have good success. And your body has receptors. They're called CB1 and CB2 receptors. CB1 receptors are mostly found up here in your brain. CB2 are usually found throughout the rest of your body, but they affect different parts of your body, whether it be your brain, and it affects your appetite, or it could affect your reproductive system or your immune system, which is a big one right now. As a matter of fact, Rosa sent me a study. As a matter of fact, about 100 people have sent me some studies that are showing how cannabinoids, specifically CBD and CBG, can help with the COVID virus and how it helps prevent it. Very, very interesting. I'm actually going to move through this. So there are lots of different cannabinoids. We'll talk a little bit about CBD. Some people have heard of THC. I just want to assure everybody on here that none of our products contain THC. We have 0 THC in any of our products, so you can just cross that one out. But we do have THCV and some CBGC. We have CBDV. We have CBD, obviously. We have CBG. We have CBN. And this wheel talks a little bit about the benefits. So THCV is a great appetite suppressant. CBN is good for helping people sleep. CBD is a fantastic one for depression and anxiety. CBG is a huge anti-inflammatory. It's also very, very good for your heart. It's an antihypertensive and it's an antiarrhythmic. And so these cannabinoids all play a role. This is a picture of our farm. And I want to just tell you why we have the best products in the world. It starts right here. It starts with the plants that we grow. This is actually us out planting. This is pictures that I took from my phone was we were planting our farms. And then as they continue to grow, we use no pesticides, only ladybugs, natural ladybugs. Those are and as our plants continue to grow, they get bigger. And then we extract at our facility. We are going to invite you to come in October. You're welcome to come to our facility and see as we harvest how we do the extraction. And then we take the oil and we, that's me right there. This is our facility where we manufacture. This is a GMP facility. And we do all of our blending and manufacturing here. So we control the process from start to finish. This is our weight loss product. This is called Kavu Trim. It's amazing. You can take one pill in the morning, one pill in the afternoon. And if you're trying to lose weight, we have a very, 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 very great success with this product. This is a weight loss product. There are a couple major benefits besides just weight loss. It helps your metabolism. One of my favorite things right here is it helps maintain your blood sugar. I have a lot of diabetics who struggle with this. That they started Kavu Trim and have been taking it daily, and their blood sugars are awesome. So it reduces your appetite, it helps your concentration, And here are the 5 benefits of that cannabinoid that is in this product. It's an appetite suppressant. It helps with diabetes, reduces panic attacks, helps with Alzheimer's, and helps with bone growth. So that's the first product that we have specifically for weight loss. We have oils we have that we've developed that actually taste amazing. We have 3 different kinds, and they come in 3 different strengths. But CBD, a CBD dominant oil, which helps with anxiety, depression, if you have stress, and it's a great for inflammation as well. We have CBG oils, which are mostly CBG dominant, great for inflammation, excellent for pain. If you have any type of stomach health, I always remember G for gut, right? It helps my stomach. If anybody who has Crohn's, irritable bowel syndrome, anything like that. And CBG is actually very, very good for your skin. So it's a great one to take or use on skin issues. And then CBN, we have CBN drops and capsules. And just remember nighttime, right? It's something you can take at night. It helps you sleep, helps you relax. And so we have 3 different types of oils, and they come in flavors, cinnamon and peppermint and natural. I'm a big fan of both the cinnamon and the peppermint because, man, they taste really, really good. We have, this has been, until recently, it's been our #1 selling product of all time, is our muscle gel. This is, even though it says muscles, you can rub it on joints. I put it on my knees when I play golf. You can apply this for immediate relief. It's something that if you're sore, if you put it on, it takes away the pain very, very quickly. And I love this. This is probably one of the most demonstratable products. I sat at a booth, and everybody that walked by, we just had them put it on where they were, feeling sore or whatever. And then a whole bunch of people came up and were like, I got to buy that. Within 4 minutes, 5 minutes, they started to feel good. This is again, has been traditionally our top selling product because it's so good for helping quickly relieve muscle aches or pains. We have a full skincare line that starts with a cleanser, goes to a toner, and then goes to serums. And we also have body cream and body polish. These help moisturize your skin. They help with inflammation in your skin, and they make it so that your skin glows. I looked at Rosa, and if you were just listening to, I'm going to say it wrong. So the senator, the madam from Cameroon, talking about the skincare, it absolutely makes your skin glow. This is something we work very hard on. And also, not only that, for people who have psoriasis or eczema, here's a few before and afters of just a little bit of time with some of our skincare. This is a rescue balm that we make to help with skincare. So it's a beautiful thing. And then, of course, our next top seller here is our nitric oxide product, which is great for blood pressure. So if you want to lower your blood pressure, if you're over the age of 40, you should be taking a nitric oxide product every day. It helps with energy. It helps with weight loss. If you are a man, it can help you with virility, which is really fun. And it's also good for people who have diabetes. This is a great product. With the help of some of the people on this call today, I changed the formula recently just a little bit. We took out any type of sugar type, even sugar substitutes, and have been having even better results for people that have any type of sugar or diabetes issue. So this is one of our favorite products, specifically because the doctors who discovered this won a Nobel Prize for this technology or this product in 1998. And after studying all of their research, I was able to create this product and use CBG because it's for your heart. It's a fantastic one. Almost all of our products have multiple cannabinoids, which help you feel good. We have a full product line. So we absolutely do our very best to make these available to everybody so that if you struggle with pain, you can use something quick like a muscle gel. And then if you want to take some drops to help with inflammation internally, you can. If you struggle with high blood pressure or weight loss, we have products for that too. And one of my favorite things is, I'll even talk about just our weight loss pills, the trim. People take it and they immediately notice that their appetite is suppressed. It doesn't take months or weeks. You can take it in day 1, you'll notice that you don't have much of an appetite, which helps you hopefully make better food choices. the proof is really in what customers, have said. And we've got so many clients and customers over the years that have said, guys from PTSD to kids with autism to even pets. We make some pet treats, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis. And if you're struggling, even just like me, with being a little bit overweight or high blood pressure, we have products that can help. So thank you very much for jumping in. I know Dr. Liddy has some information about diabetes but I just wanted to share a couple of our favorite products with you. And then of course you can reach out to the person that invited you and find out how you can get these. But I will bow down to Dr. Liddy. She's very impressive. She's a mom. She is a pastor. She runs a church. She is a doctor. I mean, her list of credentials is incredible. And I'm just honored that we get a chance to hang out with her a little bit once in a while, because I know she's very, very busy. So I will stop sharing my screen. But we have the best products in the world, because we know, like I showed you, from start to finish, right? We know where our plants are grown. We know how to extract it. I want everybody on here. You are all invited. Come to Utah. Come and check it out. I know Rose has been here. I know there's several people on here have come out and visited us, and you're all welcome. And we would love to have you. So with that, I will turn some time to Dr. Liddy.
Okay. Greetings, everyone. I would like to share my slides, if possible. All right. So let's see here what we have. Okay. Can you see how to manage diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and obesity using cannabidiol? All right. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, Dr. Liddy.
Yes, we can see it.
All right. Okay. So I just want to greet you once more, and I hope you're going to enjoy the ride through the slides. Rosa said 15 minutes, so hopefully we'll be able to present diabetes in 15 minutes. I need grace for that. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it. Okay, Sukavu is out there to really, really make a difference in the lives of people. So it's really a lifestyle, it's a philosophy. It's not just a gimmick. The products are superior and they are effective. That is really important for me, because as a clinician, I want to be able to give products to my patients and trust that they will work. Because if they cannot trust what I give them as a doctor, then they will not be able to trust me also that I know what I'm doing. And so I've tried the products, they work, and that is why I freely recommend them to my patients at this time. Obviously, because of the conflicts of interest, I usually just recommend. I don't push people to buy them, but I can tell you those who buy them, they love them and they go for more. And so that said, I'll be focused on diabetes primarily in this talk. What is diabetes? I heard that there were a lot of non-medical people in this meeting, so I should not go into deep science, but I can explain some basic things that will help everyone understand a bit more about diabetes. And so diabetes just means a dysregulation of glucose metabolism. So your body is not really able to process glucose as it normally would. And because of that, the result is that your blood sugars go high. And there is a hormone called insulin. It's produced by the pancreas. Can people see my arrow? Are people seeing this arrow? All right, so the pancreas is this organ that sits under the stomach. The pancreatic ducts excrete pancreatic enzymes into the duodenum, and so that's the gland that produces insulin. It produces other hormones like glucagon and other additional endogenous hormones that are important for digestion. I'm sorry, I'm being distracted by a phone call. And just quickly mute the person, tell the person I'm in a meeting. Sorry about that. Otherwise, it's just a distraction. They'll keep calling. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So, so sometimes the pancreas just fails to produce enough insulin. Usually we see that in type 1 diabetes. And because of that, the insulin, which is necessary for your cells to take up glucose, it's not working either effectively or it's not enough. And so the net result is high blood sugars. Sometimes you're producing enough insulin, but your cells are a little resistant to insulin. And so usually that's seen in people that are obese. And the net result is your sugars are high. High sugars are not good for you. Amen. Sorry, I said amen. I think I'm in church. I have to remember that it's a meeting. All right. So there are different mechanisms by which people develop elevated blood sugars in diabetes. And it can go from neurotransmitter dysfunction to increase lipolysis and reduce glucose uptake, or increase glucose reabsorption at the level of the kidneys. And that's why we have drugs that make you pee out extra glucose. Or at the level of the muscles, you don't take up enough glucose. Or at the level of the intestines, there is a decrease of certain hormones in there that are important for glucose regulation. And it could also be just the liver being resistant to insulin. This is often seen in people that are obese or just maybe impaired insulin secretion, etc. So I don't want to dwell too much on this, but a net effect is high sugars. And the definition of diabetes based on blood sugars, currently, if anybody tests your blood sugars, and this is for everyone to, it's easy enough that anybody can understand it. If you go to the doctor and they do a blood test and your blood sugar is 200, you have diabetes. So doesn't matter time of the day, whether you're fasting, non-fasting, 200, you have diabetes. If they do a special test called an oral glucose tolerance test and your sugars after the end of the test is greater than 200 or equal to 200, you have diabetes. If you wake up in the morning first thing and you check your blood sugar, or you go for a fasting blood test and your blood sugar is greater than or equal to 126, you have diabetes. And if your A1C, which is a test that measures an average of your blood sugars over 3 months, if that A1C test shows an A1C level greater than or equal to 6.5, you have diabetes. Then there's an intermediate phase called pre-diabetes, and there's also a phase called normal. Normal is if your A1C is less than 5.7, or if you wake up in the morning and they check your blood test is less than 100, or if randomly or after an oral glucose tolerance test, your blood glucose is less than 140, in general, you don't have diabetes. Okay, I don't want to dwell too much on that. For the non-clinicians in this meeting, I want to also explain a little bit some of the symptoms of diabetes. Blurry vision, excessive thirst or urination, those are some of the symptoms that people see early on in diabetes. Some people lose weight because they're peeing out too much sugar, and in the process, they're also getting dehydrated and losing water weight mostly. Sometimes, especially in people who have type 1 diabetes, because they're not able to utilize glucose, they lose weight also because they're burning a lot of fat due to insulin deficiency. So those are some of the main the most common symptoms of diabetes. And for type 1s who go really, really sick to the hospital, they can have other symptoms that can show that or tell the doctor that they may be in diabetes ketoacidosis. Diabetes ketoacidosis just means that now you're forming acid in your blood. And that is usually a result of lack of insulin. Okay, that said, we are going to go straight into the meat of why we are in this meeting. The first thing I want to teach you a little bit about is insulin resistance and the role of nitric oxide in glucose dysregulation. So as I mentioned, I touched on a little bit earlier, insulin resistance is very common in people that are obese. So big people are more insulin resistant than people that are thinner. And that causes your cells to have a hard time to utilize glucose. A lot of fat people or obese people have what we call fatty liver. So, and their muscles and their liver don't take up glucose very well. So the net result is that they have a lot of glucose that is hanging out in their bloodstream because their cells are not utilizing them. So it's called insulin resistance. If you measure insulin levels in people that are insulin resistant, their insulin levels are high and their sugars are high too, especially those that have developed already diabetes. Sometimes you can have high insulin levels without diabetes because your body is just fighting hard. High insulin is bad for you because it makes you hold on to weight. You store fats when you have high circulating insulin levels. So it's a ripple effect. You are obese, you have high circulating insulin level, you just keep storing fat. So it's a vicious cycle that we need to break. And Sukavu products can help us with that as well. Okay. So next, there is another condition called nitric oxide deficiency. All right, I think Zane touched on it a little bit. All of us produce nitric oxide inside our arteries. I'm trying to use simple terms so that everybody can understand. So nitric oxide is produced in the inner part of the cells that line the inside part of our arteries. And so as you age, your nitric oxide levels start to decline naturally. And so we have nitric oxide boosters that are available. And why is nitric oxide important in general? Because it reverses the signs of aging in your arteries, but it also helps to improve insulin resistance. Since we are talking about diabetes, it's important to highlight that nitric oxide deficiency is also associated with insulin resistance and increased inflammation and also hardening of the arteries. And so really, really important if we can decrease nitric oxide levels in our patients or in anybody who has diabetes, you're going to see improvement in diabetes, but overall health is improving because you are reversing some of the damage that has been caused over the years to your arteries by your nitric oxide deficiency. All right. Then there is a lot of inflammation that also happens as a result of weight gain, diabetes. Diabetes is terrible for your blood vessels in general. So anything that can help you improve your diabetes will help you improve your overall health. I hope I was able to break it down very easily for everyone to understand. Okay, just in summary, I see somebody's hand is up. Simon Petulano. Do you have a question or would you like to ask it at the end of the presentation? Okay, all right. You are muted, so if you're speaking, we cannot hear you.
Dr. Lily, you can finish and then we'll ask
you can ask questions. Wonderful. All right. So insulin resistance, therefore, is not a good thing for you because it makes you store fat. It is promoted by nitric oxide deficiency. It is promoted by inflammation. High sugars just make it worse. And it causes, it's provoked by fatty liver and fatty infiltration of the pancreas, but it also promotes it, unfortunately. So it's just a terrible cycle that should be broken in our overall health. So now that we have understood a little bit about diabetes, we can touch on CBD. How does CBD play a role in diabetes overall? Okay. Number one, Zane already showed that graph that has many cannabinoids. And there are different ones that have different functions. And initially, I can tell you, when I heard cannabinoids, I was like, oh my God, am I going to be testing positive for a drug test if I take these products? I was so nervous about it. And but finally, I actually went and studied the science a little bit. And with all the science that is out there, it is impressive. And I'm really grateful for what Zane is doing, because I've learned so much just using these products and learning about them. And it has really opened my eyes to a lot of things. In fact, now with legalization of marijuana, there's a lot of studies going on CBD. You'll see it everywhere. So let's talk a little bit about CBD and diabetes. CBD acts on that endocannabinoid system and maintains the balance of the pancreas and regulates the function of the pancreas. So number one, we realized at the beginning that the pancreas is the essential organ for people with diabetes. So CBD actually helps pancreatic function. It aids it. And if you look at some of the studies that are out there, there are studies that show that in people, for example, that have autoimmune disorders, including type 1 diabetes, which is an autoimmune disorder, CBD suppresses the autoimmune response to the disease. And so if you are early on in type 1 diabetes or just at risk because there's so many other autoimmune diseases in your family, if you use these products, you can actually prevent or delay maybe onset of diabetes in your life because it suppresses that autoimmune response to the disease and helps you maintain your insulin secretion. So that those cells, everybody knows a little bit about type 1 diabetes, the doctors here, the non-doctors, type 1 diabetes is caused by an immune attack on your pancreas. That's the simplest way I can put it. It's an autoimmune problem. Your body is producing antibodies. Your own body is producing antibodies that are attacking your own pancreas. And so CBD products decrease that attack on your pancreas so that you could delay the onset of type 1 diabetes, even if you were at risk for diabetes. Obviously, if you already have type 1 diabetes, your pancreas has already been attacked and it's completely gone. There's nothing we can do about it. All right. So the next thing is that it inhibits the autoimmune response. It decreases inflammation and also improves the blood glucose levels. Studies have also shown that it improves insulin resistance in 17% of patients. We can say it's kind of small. No, every little bit helps. Amen. Every little bit helps. So if that study looked at 4,700 diabetic patients and they saw that there was a reduction in insulin resistance in 17% of patients. Why is it not 100% of patients? Because there are many factors that contribute to insulin resistance. And so it cannot attack every single factor of it. But the fact that it was able to do that in 70% of patients was quite impressive. Then in type 2 diabetes, we have also seen, so we spoke about type 1 diabetes, we spoke about insulin resistant people, and then in type 2 diabetes, CBD regulates your sugar level by two mechanisms. Number one, it has it helps with glucose homeostasis, and it has anti-inflammatory action on the pancreas. All right. So there are other mechanisms, in fact, weight reduction and other things, but those are like indirect mechanisms. But if you have diabetes and you take CBD products, it will help with glucose homeostasis, reduce insulin resistance, and help with reducing inflammation. All right. So we have nitric oxide boosters that are available. We already spoke about the role of nitric oxide. So remember, we divided this talk a little bit into insulin resistance and nitric oxide deficiency. And now we spoke about insulin resistance, what can help. And we've seen how CBD can help with insulin resistance and pancreatic function. Now we're talking about nitric oxide boosting. So Sukavu has a nitric oxide booster, which is really great. Zane was pointing out that they have changed the formulation. It used to be sweetened naturally with stevia. Now they have removed that stevia component from it. But the testimonies of the patients are amazing, that they really love the new flavor. I didn't mind the sweet, to be honest. I'm just telling the truth, but the new formulation is better. And so nitric oxide boosting has two very important ingredients, arginine and citrulline. And these amino acids are important precursors of nitric oxide. And we have already seen that nitric oxide is so important to improve insulin resistance, to help reverse the signs of aging in your blood vessels, the hardening of the arteries that we see. And so when you take a nitric oxide booster, it definitely helps. Those arginine and citrulline helps improve your nitric oxide levels. All right. And so I'm sorry, I think I missed one slide, but it's okay. All right, that's it. Very good. So the nitric oxide booster, we've already seen the mechanism, so we don't want to dwell in there. Let's go to the liver. We realize that the liver is a very important organ as well in diabetes. As I mentioned earlier, if your liver cannot take up glucose because of fatty liver, you're going to have high sugars. So as I'm going along, some of what I said earlier might become clearer to some people, especially the non-medical people. So the liver takes over from the pancreas when it is overwhelmed by storing excess glucose as fat. That is why in general, in people who have diabetes, we tell them, whatever your body cannot use is going to store as fat. It's true. Whether you have diabetes, whether you don't have diabetes, the same applies to everyone. If you eat too many calories, too much sugar, your body will use up what it needs, the rest it will store as fat. And so in the long term, we end up having fatty liver. And now there are studies that are showing that CBD protects the liver from fatty infiltration. Very important, because fatty liver causes insulin resistance. Do we now see how everything is looping together? Very good. So fatty liver causes insulin resistance. CBD reduces fatty liver. So by reducing fatty liver, you're also reducing your circulating insulin levels, and therefore you're improving your glucose and your weight and your glucose at the same time. All right, very good. So that said, we have Sucavu-Cavutrim, which is for weight management. We need to control our weight if we're going to also control our diabetes. Unfortunately, in this world, we have become more sedentary and we're eating more fast foods. The problems we're seeing now with weight, with obesity, is not the same problem that our parents saw. And therefore, we really need to find ways to lose weight. As you lose weight, you control your diabetes also. Is that making sense to people? And so we have, I'm just going straight into the problem because I'm already out of time. Our Sucavu-Cavutrim has very important, how can I say, the composition is amazing. It has different ingredients in it that help with different things in your body that can help you lose weight. So I'm going to touch quickly on those so that we can round up this conversation. So the Cavutrim it's a real cannabinoid. It has a real cannabinoid in it with its entourage effect associated with vitamin B6, which helps to boost your metabolism. It rapids energy production, increase concentration, reduces your appetite, and maintains your blood flow. We already spoke about the role of all these cannabinoids earlier on, so I'm not going to go back into how it does it, but boosting your energy. When you take the Cavutrim, you're so energetic, you're able to focus more, your appetite is lower, and you improve even your circulation. And if you use it with the Sucavu hemp and pea protein, you're going to be full for longer times. You won't be needing to snack in between meals. You know, there was this concept that people needed to eat every 2 hours. I don't know where it came from. And so people have been eating every 2 hours. We do that only when we are trying to reset your metabolism, but we shouldn't be hungry every 2 hours. That's why people are not losing weight. Unless you're snacking on vegetables only, there is no way if you eat every 2 hours, you will not gain weight. So this will help you so you're not getting hungry all the time. You can eat at set times. You can stop eating at 6 o'clock at night and you will not be having a midnight crave for food. A lot of people wake up at night to eat. Or before they go to sleep, they're having a food craving. If you have those, the pea protein and the super greens, there is no way you're going to be hungry. You can control, prolong the amount of time that it takes for your glucose to be absorbed so that your sugars are stable for a longer time. People get hungry because of wide swings in blood sugar. They eat fufu or a heavy carb meal, and then they have a big spike, your insulin level go up, and then it crashes, and then you're hungry again. But if you're putting more protein and in putting everything that you need to balance it off, proteins, they delay the absorption of carbs, your sugars will be more stable. So it's great product to use. If you use them, you're going to testify about them. You can maintain your weight loss goals easily by having those super greens and those proteins in your regimen. Then the other products that we have here are, we mentioned the nitric oxide booster already. We already mentioned that it has arginine and citrulline. It has other things, vitamin B6. Everybody knows B complexes are important for weight management. And B6 is important for immunity, metabolism of amino acids. B12, protection of nerve cells. And I can tell you that a lot of weight loss clinics give B12 injections to their patients to help them lose weight also. So if you have all of that in the nitric oxide booster, why not use it? So it's not directly for diabetes, it's more for insulin resistance and other things. And nerve protection, very important. A lot of people with diabetes have nerve damage. So you want to protect your nerves. So it's really, really important. It's antioxidant. We know there's a lot of inflammation in diabetes. It's healing. And it is, we mentioned the citrulline is a precursor for nitric oxide. Folic acid is good for cell regeneration. And L-glutathione to protect your liver. We already mentioned how important the liver is. And then we have L-methionine, which is for energy, it detoxifies, vitamin K, D3, all those things we know already, very important for your bone. It's an all-round product. I don't know why anybody would not use it. Nitric oxide boosters are a must. If you are 40 plus, you must be using a nitric oxide booster. And then we have also NAC in it, which is an antioxidant and detoxifier. So that said, I have to stop here because I'm really, really out of time. But those are the Kavu products, how they help us with weight, with diabetes, and insulin resistance, reduce inflammation, and help us just overall maintain a healthy weight. And this is this slide is really nice. We went from eating nice, healthy things, to eating hamburgers and French fries and onion rings. That's why we're only gaining more and more weight. And I'm not going to go into this discussion here just because of time, but I want to conclude here. CBD does not cure diabetes. Okay, it's not a cure for diabetes. It limits the side effects, the complications of diabetes, and also the incidence of diabetes, especially in people that have immune dysregulation issues, by decreasing the autoimmune response in the pancreas with low insulin requirements for type 2 diabetes. A lot of people who take these products need less medication. So you need to talk to your doctor if you're taking these products so they can adjust your diabetes medications. And then its other actions on the endocannabinoid system, helpful to regulate sleep, anxiety, and appetite. We all know that's all important. People that are very stressed in diabetes, they have high sugars. People that don't sleep well, they have higher sugars. And those, who they can't control their appetite, they have a hard time managing their diabetes. So we have also seen its action against fatty liver and in glucose regulation and its effect on fighting obesity. So that is pretty much what we have for today. This is the Sukavu's Kavutrim. We've already spoken about it, and those are the Sukavu products that Zane was talking about. But as he mentioned, I like the Kavutrim. I like the Kavunox, very, very important. These are the hemp and pea protein mix. And then there is the greens. Get all of those, if that will help you with your diabetes and weight management. Have a wonderful day.
Dr.
I think we have come to the end.
Dr. Liddy, can you just tell us a little bit your experience using the Kavutrim and all this stuff and how much weight you lost, please?
All right, I'll do just that. Let's see. Did I stop screen sharing? Yes, I did. So I want to show you something. I'll show you where I started with my weight. You see the way I look now, right? Don't be shocked, but I'll show you where I was at some point until I started encountering, the importance of using nitric oxide boosters. And if you give me 1 second. So one of my cousins sent me this picture to remind me that I should never go back. Can you people see me? So that is me and my brother. So I look 15 years younger. Somebody actually said, it looks like my mother. And let me do that. So anyway, I think people saw it. I rest my case.
The
My
defense.
Dr. Pani, it's Edmond.
Yes.
You look like, how many years ago when we were in residency? Probably like that's the way I knew you, like almost 15 years ago right now. So now I know the secret. So just had to throw
Thank
it
you.
in there.
So we
Can
have a
only be
live
me.
we have a live witness. Over time, I put on a lot of weight. And
yeah, then I would say don't go back to it. If you go back to it, I will send you more Sukavu products. And I will give you a prescription.
Yes, so those products do really curb your appetite, helps you to stay focused on, you can control when you eat. You're not going hungry because you're not feeling hungry. That's a problem that a lot of people have. Then the second thing, reduces food cravings, meaning that you're not like sugar cravings. I was a big sugar junkie. My sister-in-law is on this line. I actually see her there. It is true. I love sugar, but I was going out of hand because I have a condition that can make me insulin resistant. And so because of that, I have to control my sugar intake. That's the only way for me to lose weight and also exercise. But, during the pandemic, I had really lost some weight. And during the pandemic, I regained like 30 pounds. And when Rosa told me about the Sukavu product, I was like, oh my God. I researched it. As I mentioned earlier, I was a little concerned about, I'm a doctor. So you don't want to go to work high on something. And in my mind, CBG, cannabinoids are all like marijuana things. So I don't want to go to work treating my patients and being high. And she said, no, I guarantee you it's nothing like that inside. Even if they do your tox screen, it's going to be negative. And I said, wow, okay. So I read up a bit, I almost understood it better, and I started using them. And within 1 month, I lost 15 pounds, which was a record for me. And I know during that month, I was also fasting. So it wasn't just purely from it, but I can tell you that I've been doing fasting for a long time. I don't lose weight like that. I can fast all day if I want. It doesn't matter to me. But this really helped, and I just saw the weight falling off. It was amazing. And I've kept the weight off. People can see I had a double chin.
So Didi, again, let me just say, as a physician, as a clinician, I think it's very important that you really mention the other things that go with this. So people come in, when you come to this kind of forums, you really should go back knowing that if you actually have to be on your couch and think that these products are going to work magic, you need your brain checked. Don't do it. Go back and do what Didi told you she did, which is combine this with other lifestyle changes. You need to get up and exercise, and the benefit of exercise go far way beyond just losing weight. And it turns out that the circulation, there's the nitric oxide, it helps with your circulation. it's going to help you in a lot more ways with your circulation than you think about. Think about the heart disease. All of these are because your oxygen is not delivered to the cells in the appropriate quantity, and also waste is not extracted. So by exercising, it helps. For the folks in Africa, the problem, I remember when I was in Africa, you think about America, the most important thing that came to mind was burger. And didn't you know that you had the best food there with
That's
all
true.
the vegetables that you can grow in your backyard? Please eat those. Eat your fresh food. Don't bother about the stupid pomme de terre, pomme de France. There are a lot of fresh fruits that you can grow there. You can do all the things that you do. Only combine these with the things that we're talking about, so that you don't get out here thinking that somebody is marketing a magic pill. It doesn't exist in health. You must combine. As oncologists, we just were celebrating like the 50th anniversary of the fight on cancer this year. And it turns out that if you only did exercise, lifestyle modification, maintain your weight, which a lot of these things do, and help with and eat the right diet, we could prevent up to 50% of the cancers. Africa doesn't have the money to waste on chronic diseases like this, nor should we even go there. So do the prevention, get these things, but also balance it with the most important thing, exercise and healthy diet. I just wanted so we can mention that to be complete. You get out of here, if you don't want to buy the products, which is quite good, just realize that you met your brothers and sisters who are trained in some of these things, who can actually advise you. Thank you.
Yeah, I really like the fact that you brought that up, Dr. Folefak. In fact, I had one patient, of all the patients that have been using it, that one said, oh, this product doesn't work. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Well, she said, well, I take it, but it doesn't do anything, so I stopped. I said, okay, so how long did you take it, number one? She said, well, she took it for 1 week and stopped. I said, yeah, all right. So you have to be consistent, number one. Number two, how are you living? Did you change anything? She said, no, I'm just eating the way I'm eating and all whatnot. And I said, if you're going to eat anything that you want to eat and lose weight, then that will be magic. There's no magic pill. So you have to still do your part. And this will just help you to achieve your results faster. But you can't, even you see people who had gastric bypass surgery, they lose 90 pounds, 100 pounds. And before you know it, that little pouch that is left, they are pumping in milkshakes and sugar and candy, they will regain the weight. It's all a matter of energy balance. Whatever you don't use, you store as fat. And I think I made it clear during the presentation. That's normal for everybody. So we need to still do our part to just eat healthy, go back to eating greens, colored foods, and avoid fast foods, French fries, hamburgers, and double portion Cokes. That one will never lead to weight loss, no matter where you are. So no matter what you take, even if you do bypass, the weight will go off initially, but will come right back.
I think that was one of my favorite things about making that product, was knowing that we could help people make better decisions. You know what I mean?
True.
It's not necessarily that, like you said, it's not the magic pill that cures everything. But what it does, at least for me especially, is it helps me make better decisions because I don't crave all those things, right?
That's right.
My body's more in balance. I feel better. I have more energy. And I don't crave sugar like I used to. I think, and I feel full quicker when I eat food. So when I'm eating, just sitting down for a meal, I just get full quicker. I feel satiated a lot quicker. Now I can sit there and keep eating because that's what I'm used to doing, right? I can keep shoveling the food in my mouth, or I can say, man, I feel full. I'm going to stop now. And for me personally, that's been my biggest success, is that it helps. It's just a help for that. So thank you both, Dr. Folefak, Dr. Liddy. Thank you so very, very much.
You're welcome.
I was bowing to you and I had my screen off, but so grateful for you and your time. And thank you, Dr. Folefak, as well. And all the doctors and everybody on today. We're so grateful. We love what we do. We love sharing important information. This is a great time of year because everybody's excited and motivated to exercise and lose weight, right? It's January. You want to get into our swimming suit season, right? As we're coming up and reaching our goals. And so very much so grateful for everybody. Thank you everybody for your time today. Reach out to who invited you. Let's help as
then
many
maybe
people as we can.
anybody in the team has questions for Dr. Lidi, Dr. Folefak, Dr. Simon, Dr. Raymond, and all. This is wonderful that all of them were able to join today. This is the time to ask that question, and we really thank everybody for coming. Dr. Lidi, so if you have any few questions you can ask, please feel free to do so. We are a family, so that we can really know what we're doing and taking back something to share with us, our families, our friends, so as we look forward to next week's meeting. Does anyone?
So I think I see some comments. I
One
see
of the
some
questions
comments in the
you'll see
chat.
Amanda asked is about taking Nox twice a day, and the answer is absolutely you can. Yes.
Yes.
I have
So
a good friend who takes it 3 times a day. He takes it first thing in the morning, then he takes it as a pre-workout, which a lot of people really like to use as a pre-workout, and then he actually takes it again at night. And he is 100% off of his blood pressure medication and doing great.
There are some comments in the chat box. Somebody says, you need the Sukavu chew, Dr. Lidi, you can do it. Yes, absolutely. Somebody said, I can attest. My insulin resistance has me storing lots of fat. That is what I was talking about. And somebody asked, could you drink protein and green at dinner to help with late cravings? Absolutely. That is what I was saying. That will help you. You don't have to wake up at night. One of our killers for our weight is eating at night. Once you stop that, your weight will go. If you have finished work, you're going to sit in front of the couch and watch TV the rest of the evening. You're not doing anything. You are eating. You're going to store that. You're not going to burn it off. And so, yes, those products will help you avoid those night craves. You will feel full until you go to bed. You don't have to eat anything. Unless you're eating out of impulse, then that is a disorder. But if you're eating because you're hungry, you're not going to feel that hunger, the hunger pang. And then somebody said, yes, it can be a meal replacement and will help with the late night craze. Somebody answered the question. Somebody said, great information. Another person said, I lost 20 pounds using as a meal replacement in 2020. Absolutely. And then somebody congratulated Amanda. Thanks, Dr. Lidi, great presentation. We greatly appreciate it. And somebody said, I had gastric bypass in 99 and gained back and can't eat some things I used to. But I have to agree with you to know how to pound strength, to be determined to eat right. And the diet for GP is very much like a diabetic diet. Absolutely. And these products will help you achieve that. So I think, I don't know if there is any other question. I can't use the trim due to my issues with caffeine. It causes lots of palpitations. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, if you cannot use the Cavu trim, that is okay. There is a binge block available just in case you have binge, you just eat uncontrollably. Those are other things, but you can use the nitric oxide boosters and you can use the proteins and the greens. Those will help you in attain your goals. Okay, I think those are all that's in the chat. I'll pass it over to Zane at this time.
Yeah, and one other thing, Amanda, about the if you don't want to use trim, we also have balance, which is without the caffeine. So it still has the THCV, which is an appetite suppressant, but there's no caffeine. So still a great one. It won't lose weight as quick, but very, very good. So I think you'll enjoy that. Thank you again to everybody for jumping on today. Really appreciate your time and have an amazing day.
Thank you, Zane. Thank you,
Thanks,
all the
everybody.
doctors. Thank you for everybody. Thanks for coming.
Okay.
Next week, same
care.
time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.